The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
June night in 1980, Friday the 13th, 12 of her friends were murdered. Why should Friday the 13th, 1981 be any different? Friday the 13th, Part 2. The body count continues. 14.
All doomed. You're all doomed.
15.
God.
16.
Help!
17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23.
Sandra? Jeff?
The day you count on for terror is not over. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast, the Summer of Sequels series. I'm your host, Jimbo.
And I'm your co-host, Kyle.
Kyle, today we're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 2 from 1981. Kyle,
Spooky.
You know I'm a big Jason Voorhees fan.
Yeah.
And this movie, you actually get to see Jason come to his own instead of the little boy just jumping out of the water at the beginning of, at the ending of the first one.
This might as well be the first Friday the 13th film in my kind of mind. It's like, yeah, his mom did the whole thing. It's more of a prequel now in my mindset, where this is the first real Friday the 13th.
Right, where we
movie.
first actually get Jason
where
killing.
Jason's doing Jason stuff. That's what I like.
Right.
That's what I want.
So, Kyle, before we get started, Kyle, if you have to name your top 5 horror icons, how are you rating your top 5 horror icons?
Ooh, top 5? I'm probably going to start from top to bottom then. I'm probably going to...
I hope you start from top to bottom.
No, I mean, like, top,
Are you
like,
gonna go
who's,
like 5,
who's,
4, 3,
who's,
2,
like,
1,
who's
1?
number 1 and then go
Okay.
down, like, to 5, because I'm going to, like, number 1, I'm probably going to put Freddy Krueger up there. That's kind of where I always dug the, like, infesting your dreams and then killing you in your sleep. I like that idea a lot because it's so inescapable. I love that idea. And also he's just terrifying, being a burn victim and all that kind of stuff too. Then number 2, I might put the actual slasher from Scream as kind of the idea.
Ghostface?
Ghostface Killer. Thank you. Ghostface Killer. No, not the rapper. Ghostface. Probably works for me pretty well too. Then 3, probably got Voorhees up there. And then 4, probably got Michael Myers from Austin Powers. And 5, we'll probably put Hellraiser himself. Yeah, so it'll be good. I think that'll probably work for me for number 5. Jimbo, how do you feel about your ranking?
Number 1, Jason Voorhees, first and foremost, all-time greatest slasher. 2, probably has to be Michael Myers. 3, although I'm not a big Freddy Krueger fan, I'd probably have to put him there at number 3. 4 would probably be Chucky, just because killer dolls are scary. And number 5, he's new to the slasher genre.
Who do we got?
But Art the Clown. Art the Clown is very, very violent and very, very... he doesn't say anything. He's like a mime clown, and it's just brutal what he does to people.
I've heard he's been making waves. I've not seen either one of those films.
Well, the third one comes out in October, so you better catch up so you can go watch it with us.
Maybe.
No, there's no
promises. We'll see what makes it happen.
So,
yeah.
And then I was going to put, what's his name? The tall man from Phantasm. He was pretty good, too. It's an honorable mention.
It's good. It's a good role.
But there's a lot of good ones. I would even put Jigsaw in there. I think Jigsaw's really good from the Saw franchise.
He's definitely up in the running for sure. At this point, yeah, for sure. He's had a lot of good hits.
And I think there's another one coming out this year.
I'm sure that series can't die somehow.
Nope.
Yeah, even though Jigsaw's been dead for years. Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
Oh, take it for you?
Take it away.
All right, Jimbo. We are doing Friday the 13th, Part 2, released on May 1st, 1981. Follows the story of 5 years after the events of the first film. A summer camp next to the infamous Camp Crystal Lake is preparing to open, but the legend of Jason is weighing heavy on the proceedings. Directed by Steve Miner. Written by Ron Kurz and Victor Miller. Produced by Steve Miner. Composed by... Harry Manfredini. I believe I got that right again, or we got it wrong again. Cinematographer Peter Stein. Manfredini. There we go. Harry Manfredini. And then cinematographer Peter Stein. Budget for the film is $1.25 million. Really cheap movie even for 1981. Just for inflation, it would be about $4.29 million today. So once again, made this film on the cheap, which makes practical effects all the more impressive. Opening weekend, it brought in already $6.4 million. This movie was profitable its first weekend, so good for them on that. Just for inflation, would be $22.1 million. And then gross worldwide, here we have $21.7 million. And just for inflation, that would be about $74.6 million today. So this movie made bank for what they put into it, for sure. So no wonder why they're still trying to make Friday the 13th movies even up to today. Although I believe there's some insane rights issues going on today. But they'll get resolved. They'll make more movies in time, I'm sure. Oh, excuse me. Moving on, some of the technical details of the film here. This film has a runtime of 87 minutes. Sound mix is mono, single channel audio. But for the DVD re-release, they actually got in a Dolby Stereo surround system, so good for them on that. This is a color film, or a color deluxe, if you will. Aspect ratio is 1.85 by 1. Camera used, a very standard Panavision Panaflex cameras and lenses. And moving on here to the awards, we're going to go through the 2014 Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, where it was nominated for the Best DVD and Blu-ray Collection for part of the Friday the 13th, The Complete Collection, released in 2014. And then for the 2005 Satellite Awards, it had a nomination for the Golden Satellite Award for Best DVD Extra Menu. And then for the 1981 awards, when the movie actually came out, it had a nominated award for the Stinker Award for Worst Sequel.
How dare they?
How dare they indeed. They probably wanted to bring the mother back or something like that, too. They were just wrong about this. Although I will say this movie probably has like the last 20 minutes of the real film, and then everything else is like, it's all full lead up. That's just me. Moving on here, we're going to go to the cast real quick. We have Amy Steele playing the role of Jeannie. Not Jeannie. Amy Steele playing the role of Ginny. Amy Steele was also in the film April Fool's Day in 1986. Then we have John Fury playing the role of Paul. John Fury was also in the film Tracker in 2001. Then we have Adrienne King playing the role of Alice. Adrienne King was returning from her role as Alice from the first film in the original Friday the 13th Part 1 in 1980. Kirsten Baker playing the role of Terry. Kirsten Baker was also in the film Gas Pump Girls in 1979. That sounds like a raunchy film, if you ask me. Next up, we have Stuart Charno playing the role of Ted. Stuart Charno was also in the film Christine in 1983. Christine, the Steven Spielberg, not
Stephen King.
Stephen King horror film. There we go. I got there eventually. And he's also in Star Trek Next Generation in the years 1991 and 1992. I don't know the role he played there, but he was in the Star Trek show TNG's, the best era. Next up, we have Warrington Gillette playing the role of Jason. Warrington Gillette was also in the film Time Walker in 1982 and the film the show Penny Dreadful in 2005. Next up, we have Walt Gorney playing the role of Crazy Ralph. Walt Gorney was also in the film Trading Places in 1983. Then next up, we have Marty Kober playing the role of Sandra. Marty Kober was also in the film Neon Maniacs in 1986 and the film Rad in 1986. I bet that film's rad.
You ever seen it?
No, never heard of it. Next up, we have Tom McBride playing the role of Mark. Tom McBride was also in the show Remo Williams. The Adventure Begins. And then next up, we have Bill Randolph playing the role of Jeff. Bill Randolph was also in the film Dress to Kill in 1980. Then we have Lauren Marie Taylor playing the role of Vicky. Lauren Marie Taylor was also in the film Pound Puppies in 1985.
Did you ever have a pound puppy, Kyle?
No, actually, I believe all mine were like from family friends who needed to get rid of an animal. That's generally how it always ended up for me. Yeah. How about you, Jimbo? Did you ever have a pound puppy? You did? Cool. Good for you.
Might still have him somewhere.
Hope he's not lost. Next up, we have Russell.
Do you know what a pound puppy was?
No, I don't. I assume it was a puppy from the pound.
No, it was a stuffed animal.
Oh,
they were called pound puppies, and they would come in like a little crate, like a.
I've seen actual animals, Jimbo.
No, Kyle, jeez, I'm not talking about you got a puppy you got from the pound.
From the pound. I was mistaken.
Sometimes I forget of how young you are, we just
like a little baby.
And I said, I think I still have it. You're like, wow, really?
With a smooth bottom.
But I also have a puppy from the pound named Bear. So
okay, puppy from the pound named Bear and a puppy from the Pound Puppies.
Yes.
Called Pound Puppy. Next up, we have Russell Todd playing the role of Scott. Russell Todd was also in the film Another World in 1964 and the film Chopping Mall in 1986.
We have to cover that.
That sounds amazing. Next up, we have Betsy Palmer reprising her role as Mrs. Voorhees. Betsy Palmer, of course, reprising her role from the first film as well, Friday the 13th, 1980. And she was also in the show Penny Dreadful in 2005.
Did you ever watch Penny Dreadful?
No, I never watched it.
It's not bad.
Don't really know what it's about either. Was it just kind of like a pseudo horror show? But
basically, that I think it's 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's 3. And do you know what Penny Dreadfuls were?
No.
It's basically...
Wait, was that Netflix show with the werewolves?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Well, not Netflix. It was... it's either Stars or Showtime or something. But it had like werewolves, witches, Frankenstein.
Okay, I did watch
Jekyll and
Hyde,
I think.
In one ear, out the other for me, I guess it was. Just not really memorable to me. Yeah, so whatever. Hopefully it's all right. For fans, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Next up, we have Cliff Cudney playing the role of Max. Cliff Cudney was also in the film Bound in 1996. Then we have Jack Marks playing the cop. Jack Marks is also in the film Ryan's Hope in 1975. Then we have Steve Dash playing the role of Jason, a.k.a. Steve Dakowitz. Steve Dash was also in the film 9.5 Weeks in 1986 and The Equalizer 2000, which was shown in 1987. Then we have Jerry Wallace playing the role of The Prowler. Jerry Wallace was also in the show Enormous Changes at the Last Minute in 1983. Then we have David Brand playing the role of extra counselor, and these are actually going to be extra counselors for the next few actors here. They were in the film A Wedding in 1973. Then we have China Chen playing another extra counselor. China Chen was also in the film The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008. And then we have Jamie Prairie playing the role of extra counselor for Jacob's Ladder in 1990. That's the other film he put, Jacob's Ladder in 1990. Then we have Tom Shea playing the role of an extra counselor. Tom Shea was also in the film Somewhere Tomorrow in 1983. And then we have Jill Voight playing the role of extra counselor again. And she was in the film Trip with a Teacher.
Did you skip over
Carolyn Loudon? Because the only other role that's mentioned in her IMDb page is, once again, Friday the 13th, Part 2, 1981. So I didn't think she had any other memorable roles. So I was going to save her for last. And I did. And I have.
Because you forgot.
No, I intentionally did that. You just called me out on it before I got the chance to call myself out for it.
Wow, Kyle's actually No, that's almost like you planned that, Kyle.
I would never be. Don't ever accuse me of being a man with a plan. I work off the cuff. It's my best work at. And my only work.
Right.
Jimbo.
So, Kyle, once again, since you're on a rare form today, give me the total rundown of the movie.
The Loopies. I think it's kind of referred to as. Very standard horror movie fare, really. In fact, I think this kind of movie kind of sets the framework for most horror movies in many respects, due to it being so early in the genre, really. But yeah, we start with a bunch of young kids that are dumb going out to the Camp Crystal to, hang out and do what young people do.
But technically, it's adjoining camp. No, it's not Camp Crystal Lake. Remember?
Yeah, it's an adjoining camp.
But the one
nearby.
girl's always like, "Come on, let's go. Let's go over there. Just take a peek. Take a peek.
Yeah, peek. Let's go to the horror place. Let's go to the place where we all die. Please, come on, let's do that." Just as real friends do in real life. I'm not going to say I'm any better. I do that too. Let's go to the horrifying place. Let's all go die there. It's be great. Yeah, and proceeded to get brutally murdered one by one by Mr. Jason Voorhees. And very stealthily, by the way, which is kind of cool and creepy in its own way. And one by one get basically, destroyed in unique ways with very cool practical effects. And at the end of the film, there's a final girl and a final guy, and they fight off Jason. Or do they? Dun, dun, dun.
Kyle, what was your favorite death scene in this movie?
Gosh. Well, probably the one where the guy got the rope cut off from underneath him, and then he got his neck slit. That was a pretty good one. That's just a very brutal and very psychopath kill, like no remorse whatsoever.
What about the one where was it the spear that he put through both of them?
That was awesome too.
Out?
Yeah, that was awesome too. So also, this one has a lot of great.
I tried you to say the dog scene.
No.
Animal cruelty. Kyle's like, no, can't. Because Jason has no discrimination. Man, he'll kill anything.
Oh yeah, he'll kill anything in the movie. It's great. Like it does a lot in this film does just show just how almost completely soulless he is as a murderer. So really great scene.
And if you've never seen this is Jason pre-hockey mask. He just runs around with a burlap sack, a potato sack, a pillowcase, but it only has one eye hole.
That's all you want to see.
So if you've ever seen the pictures of it, that's what this is. So just terrifying too. And the reason they did that. Because it was taken from The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Oh. So if you've ever seen that movie, they never caught that guy in real life either.
Geez.
So that was based on a true story.
Still be out there.
So that made it even more creepy. So.
Yeah.
We'll have to cover that movie sometime. That's an interesting movie.
But also the whole thing about, I guess in the rundown of the film, he also still has his mother's corpse in her sweater.
Or her head.
Her head, at least. Yeah, her head. And it's clear that Jason still believes that he's hearing her voice or hearing her guidance to murder all these young teens to avenge his own death that didn't happen.
Now, Kyle, let me ask you a question.
Give me a question, Jim.
This is taking place, 5 years after Friday the 13th, allegedly?
Mm-hmm. How did he age?
How did he grow from an adolescent boy to
a middle-aged man?
5
years.
Yeah.
Swamp, Camp Crystal Lake.
And if it's true,
waste.
and he was alive this entire time, why wasn't he the killer in the first one?
Exactly. Yeah, too.
I mean, I love Jason. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's a little bit of a plot hole somewhere in here.
The worst setup makes the best villain, right?
What was it? I think somebody said. I think it was Tom Savini, the makeup artist, because he's like, really? He's like, what do you do? Just walk around the bottom of the pond eating crayfish? It's like, wow.
Just calling them out on the weak writing there.
Yeah, so here we go.
When you think about those details, it all falls apart. But also, you shouldn't think about it. If you don't think about these, the film becomes really enjoyable, I think.
This film has one of the longest pre-credit sequences in cinematic history. Do you know how long it was before Friday the 13th Part 2 popped up on the screen, Kyle?
Oh my gosh, how long did it take?
18 minutes.
18 minutes.
Nearly 18 minutes before it popped up there.
That's gotta be great. I love films that just save their title sequence all the way to the end of the film. I love when they do that.
Yeah. Well, it was a Punch Drunk Love, I think, was something like that, wasn't it?
I believe they did. Yeah,
we were like, I was like,
yeah.
Is something ever going to come up here?
And I would love the twist, too, of show a 2-hour movie and then prototypes and then throw another 2-hour movie after that. I think it'd be hilarious.
Part 1. Now Part 2.
Now Part 2.
Jason in this film is dressed to look exactly the same as the hooded burlap sack killer from The Town That Dreaded Sundown. See, I knew I read it somewhere.
Wow.
The only difference he wears, the burlap sack only has one eye hole, and his shirt has a slightly different plaid design. So Jason just a lumberjack. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Wasn't the Zodiac killer too? He also wore like a trash bag over his head for one of the murders of the I think too.
I don't.
Or no, it was another. I think it was a black cloth mask.
Yeah, like
has
a
eyeballs out.
black Ku Klux Klan hat. I think it looked like
Something like that. I believe
with like the Zodiac
in the original description.
A bullseye on his.
Yeah, something like that. Crazy.
That's a good movie too, Zodiac Killer.
Yeah,
Zodiac. 48 seconds were cut by the MPAA to avoid an X rating. By the way, this is a R movie. There is a little bit of nudity, some language, so obviously some violence. A shot of the infamous double impalement was cut to avoid an X rating, yet a gory still photo of this censored shot appears on the back of the video cassette box. The footage of the censored portion was finally recovered in 2020 from an old VHS of the gore shots that Carl Fullerton kept for his portfolio and was included on the Scream Factory Deluxe collection of the film. I know Carl from the Evil Never Dies podcast is a big Scream Factory guy. He buys a lot of their stuff, so I'm sure he has
probably has that original cut.
I'm sure he does.
Cool.
Since he likes Jason better than Michael. Sorry, Brett. The lead character, Jenny Field, was named after Virginia Field, who was the production designer on both the first two Friday the 13th films. Kyle?
Yeah, Jimbo?
This movie has Jason being played by a total of 3 different people.
3 different people.
Which we'll get to.
Oh, wow. Surprised I didn't catch that in the cast notes.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't. Warrington Gillette is credited as playing Jason. In most of the scenes, the character was played by stuntman Steve Dash. Gillette only plays the unmasked Jason in the sequence where he bursts through the window. Dash was upset at being uncredited in the role as he has most of Jason's screen time. When archival footage of from this film was used in the next sequel, only Dash is credited as playing Jason. I'll get to the third one here in a minute.
Okay.
Following the release of Friday the 13th, Adrienne King had numerous encounters with an obsessive fan. The situation escalated into a stalker case, and she decided to avoid any further acting opportunities. She has not done any on-screen film work since, but has done voiceover work on several films more than 15 years later.
Oh my gosh, that's really sad.
Yeah, people just need to grow up.
Like a rotten egg spoils a bunch.
Yeah.
Rotten apple.
The first Jason scene in the movie is a shot of Jason's leg. Here we go, Kyle. Walking across the street toward Alice's house. It kind of gave you that Halloween vibe. What's Jason doing in a town, first off? You know what I mean? But here you go. This is the only time in the series Jason was played by a woman.
Oh.
Ellen Luter, the film's costume designer, was the one that was doing that walk.
That's really cool. Wow. She sold it too. It worked.
Yeah.
It hit the minute.
So all these times that I wanted a female slasher, there you go.
We've always had one. Jason Voorhees.
Yep.
Jason Voorhees saying trans rights.
Amy Still has stated that she found shooting the window scene difficult. The shot required 3 takes, and her frightened reaction is genuine. Because the shot was in slow motion, a high-speed camera was used, and every time she heard the film start running, she would tense up and get scared.
That's hilarious.
The film takes place 5 years after the first, which was set in 1979, according to Friday the 13th, the final chapter, meaning that this film takes place in 1984. During both summers, both the Friday the 13th occurred in June, making this film take place exactly 5 years after the events of the first film.
Exactly. Cool. That makes it pretty cool, too. It also means that it took place in the future when it released in the 1984. So that's pretty funny as well.
The actors actually stayed in the cabins on set. John Fury, Bill Randolph, and Russell Todd came to Lauren Marie Taylor's cabin to play a prank on her. They scratched on her screen window, and she hyperventilated until she fainted.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Oh, man. According to the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th, actor Jack Marks, who played Deputy Winslow, claimed that the only time he has ever driven a car were the scenes in this film and the rehearsals.
So, very limited acting range.
Must have never got his driver's license. Mark's football jersey he has the number 81 on it, the year of this film's release. Lorene Mary Taylor and Russell Todd went on to become successful soap opera stars.
Ooh.
Adrienne King filmed all of her scenes in just 2 days. In a break between takes, the cast and crew were highly amused when 2 girls attempted to use the telephone in the phone box with Jeff and Sandra used in the film. The telephone was, in fact, fake, and the girls soon stormed off in anger, assuming that the phone wasn't working.
That's hilarious.
Betsy Palmer was very surprised to be asked back for a cameo appearance by director Steve Miner, as she assumed that Jason was dead. She filmed her lines in a half day, and a new mock-up of her head was created by the makeup effects team. She claimed that she had never seen the final film itself. With Tom Savini unavailable, they turned to Stan Winston to deliver the gore for Part 2. Unfortunately, Winston was forced to leave due to scheduling conflicts, making way for Carl Fullerton. Within 5 years, Winston won an Oscar for his work on James Cameron's Aliens, and Stan Winston Studios would go on to be responsible for the design work on the Terminator, Alien, Jurassic Park, and Predator series. After a decade in gore, Fullerton ascended to the A-list of Hollywood makeup artists with Glory, The Godfather Part 3, Silence of the Lambs, and Philadelphia.
So you took a shot on a nobody, ended up getting a superstar by accident. That's incredible, and explains a lot of this film's success too.
Yep,
because the effects in this film, incredible.
According to co-producer Dennis Stewart Murphy, the idea to have Jason wear a burlap sack over his head in Part 2 came from their costume designer, who figured it was the type of readily available item Jason could have conceivably and easily procured. I'm sure from the trucks of potatoes they would send to the camping.
I guess.
Or pillowcase.
Yeah. Makes more sense than a hockey mask, I guess.
Yeah. The plot of Part 2 shocked most people associated with the original film. Betsy Palmer, Tom Savini, and Sean Cunningham all have made public remarks about how stupid it was that Jason was alive this whole time. And if he was, then why didn't he just tell his mother that he was alive, which would have avoided all the murders in Part 1? Because, Tom, it's a movie.
It's a movie. People gotta die.
Tom, I'm standing here with Betsy Palmer.
It's destroying the plot here. You don't need to waste 2 hours, folks. It doesn't make any sense.
Why does Godzilla come back and destroy Tokyo again?
Exactly. You already did it once.
Yeah.
End of show.
The Packanack Lodge Central Cabin sold on eBay for $15,000 in November 2003. Kyle, we should have bought that.
We should have. If only we'd known each other existed.
Yeah. Were you even born yet in 2003?
Shut up, Jimbo.
Walt Gordy, who played Crazy Ralph, was seen many times walking around the set talking to himself. It's possible he did this just to get more into his character. Amy Still went to a soundstage to record her scream so they could edit it into the final cut of the film. In the scene where Jason crashes into the window and grabs Jenny, the actor, Warrington Gillette, was actually hurt. He tried to break into the window, only it didn't break.
Oh.
And he ended up banging his head really hard on the glass.
That sucks.
Dope.
Oh, ow. The comedy of being a serial killer.
Lauren Marie Taylor had a legitimate crush on her on-screen boyfriend, Tom McBride, but was unaware at the time that he was gay.
Oh, it's gonna suck. See a pretty boy and you're like, hey, and he goes, hey. And it's like, oh no.
Actress Adrienne King, who played Alice, explained how her death, the ice pick scene, was filmed on Facebook. It was a retractable ice pick that was not tested before use. The first time the ice pick did not retract. Second take, the lazy propsman, not Jason, had to aim for the hole in my face.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
Ow.
I bet that hurt.
I bet it did.
In a deleted part of the ending, after the camera has completely zoomed in on Mrs. Voorhees' head, her eyes open and she smiles at us, indicating that Jason has killed Paul. This was cut for looking too fake. Since it was cut, it is now not considered evidence, that Paul was murdered.
Paul made it after all.
Paul might have made it out.
Exactly.
So, well, we know the girl did, right? They put her in it.
Yeah,
so,
Jenny, yeah. She's fine.
That takes me back to, what was I going to say? It's gone.
The thing. It was lost forever. It was the best thing of all podcasts.
About the Mrs. Voorhees head, her eyes opening, smiling. Mm-hmm. When I read that, it reminded me of Freddy versus Jason at the end, where Jason's walking out of the water with Freddy's head, and Freddy just looks at you and gives you the wink.
A little wink. He's like, I got this.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious in that scene. Freddy versus Jason was all right.
It was very like a drug-induced crazy film.
It was exactly what it should have been.
Adrienne King revealed in an interview to Screen Rant that she didn't know that Alice was going to die until she arrived on the set. She stated, I actually said to them that I would do whatever they needed for the sequel. I was theirs, and I was very happy, and I never got a script.
No.
Didn't even get a script. Then there was a car that picked me up, and little did I know. But I get up there, and the crew's almost gone. Everybody had gone. I didn't realize, but they had actually filmed the movie already.
That's so sad. Oh, man.
The main poster depicts Jason holding a bloody hatchet, except he never uses one to kill any of his victims in this. However, he does plant one in Jeff and Sandra's bed when Paul and Ginny discover it. Warrington Gillette starred as Jason and then dropped out of production, citing injuries. At least 2 other people took over the Jason role in this movie, including a female who was standing in the moment for moments at the beginning when they're filming Jason's feet stalking Alice, which we talked about. Jason very likely had Proteus syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that Joseph Merrick, known publicly as the Elephant Man, had. Jason wore a burlap sack like Merrick had when he walked out in public.
Mm-hmm. Well, presumably never really in public, but still, yeah.
Right.
I think they'd still be a little concerned if they saw a man with a burlap sack on his head walking around town.
Right. To this day, it is still unknown whether it was Ginny or the rat who urinated under the bed, but Amy still revealed in an interview that the pee was actually Coca-Cola. During the climatic fight scene between Jason and Ginny, Jason raises the mattock to block Ginny's machete swing. Amy still said that during the first take, the timing was wrong, and she actually hit Steve Dash's finger, causing him to have to go to the emergency room. Steve Dash had photos of him being treated at the ER in full costume, fake machete still stuck through his shoulder.
I bet those look great.
After his fingers was stitched up, he returned to the set that night and insisted that they complete the scene. She said they simply put a rubber cod on his finger and applied makeup to make it look dirty. Wow.
Dirty finger boy.
What are you here for? My finger. Oh, not the machete sticking out of your
chest.
Shoulder.
Yeah. Dr. Says, oh, so is that the problem? No, Ashley.
Not the splitter here. Throughout the final scene, the mummified head of Mrs. Voorhees is noticeably an actress wearing makeup rather than a fake head. At around 1 hour and 10 minutes, Ginny finds the body of Crazy Ralph in the pantry. In the first movie, Ralph is also found in the pantry, but not dead.
Oh, no.
Let's see here. The body count is 9, plus 1 character presumed dead, but it's unconfirmed. If you count the bodies from the dream sequence recapping the end of the first one, you can add 3 more to the total body count, which will bring the body count total to 12.
12.
At 1 hour and 3 minutes, immediately after Jeff and Sandra are killed, Ginny and Paul leave the bar and are passed by a man in a raincoat entering the bar. That was Bill Randolph, the actor portraying Jeff. He convinced director Steve Miner to let him do a run-through in the scene since no one would think of him since his character had just been killed on screen.
That's hilarious.
Inside Jason's cabin, in addition to the severed head and clothing of Pamela Voorhees, there are 3 bodies on the floor. Terry, the sheriff, and the decomposing corpse of Alice. You can clearly see the ice pick still sticking out of her head, but she is otherwise unrecognizable, as even the clothes have rotted. Oddly, Pamela, who has been dead 2 months longer than Alice, has faced less decomposition, and her clothing merely looks worn and dirty. According to the director Steve Miner, the ending where Jason attacks Ginny through the window is not a dream, which also gives us a mystery as to what happened to Muffin.
Oh no, the dog.
Muffin!
I'm sure it's fine.
I was waiting for him when you remember when they were at the thing. I was waiting for, like, the guy that went to open the door. That dog comes in, he just kills it. I was like, oh, this is going to be bad.
Oh my god, it'd be so dark if they just
and then
the
see Jason pop in and be like,
yeah.
Oh, man. Scott is the first victim of Jason to be killed with his signature machete. I think that's the scene Kyle talked about where he got his throat slit.
Yep.
In the scene where Terry is swimming at night, the first notes of the iconic Jaws theme are played and implemented in the score. It's a nod to the famous Spielberg movie.
Nice.
And Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, allegedly back then, the character Rob Deere confesses that he is hunting Jason for murdering his sister Sandra. Most fans caught that and believe he is talking about Sandra from this installment. So I think that's pretty cool if that's true.
Oh, that's a cool detail, yeah.
And last but not least, there is a popular internet debate concerning the fate of Paul. In the opening scene of Part 3, there is the suggestion that he does indeed survive the events of Part 2. During the opening scene of Part 3, there is a news broadcast that says there were 8 victims. Now, assuming all the bodies were actually found, there were 8 on-screen deaths in Part 2. Terry, Crazy Ralph, Sandra, Mark, Jeff, Vicky, Scott, and the cop. This would imply that Paul does survive. Alice from the original film is not murdered at the camp, so she may be included in the news broadcast body count, but Paul says she went missing, so her body may be on the ground somewhere. Mm-hmm. So, Kyle, what'd you think of Friday the 13th Part 2 there, brother?
I thought it was perfectly fine. Serviceable, even. I think I'm a little bit higher on it than maybe some other movies, but like, I feel like I'm going to give it actually a pretty... a soft 7, if you will. Not too great. I feel like the first hour of this film was largely just set up for let's get to the murders, come on now, and then the last 30 or 20 minutes is okay, now we're in the film I want to see here, so that's going on pretty good. Then we started getting some really cool classic murders going on there. So really the back third of this film is really the film that really brought my attention to it, and it was okay, this is some good filmmaking going on here. So on that level, it kind of gets a little bit of a ding in my book. But in general, I think the movie is overall solidly paced and good enough to watch. And if you're a slasher movie fan, then Friday the 13th is kind of mandatory viewing. So especially part 2 here, where it then solidifies the identity of Friday the 13th as a series. Really, there aren't there's not going to be a new Friday the 13th where it's we're going back to his mom murdering people. We're not going to do
never
that.
Say never.
Well, yeah, never say never. But I don't see it in the near future. That's what I'm going to say for sure. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, overall, I think it was perfectly fine. I'm going to give it a soft 7. Say maybe I might appreciate it later in lower time, maybe even be a soft 8 over time, but probably not. And can't wait to watch more movies in the series, because I'm sure we'll cover more podcasts about Friday the 13th in time, all the way till we get the Jason X. And
have you watched a lot of them or no?
No, I want to say actually I probably only watched the first 2 and Jason X actually, and Freddy vs. Jason. Of course,
you got a lot in store for you, man.
Yes, there's a lot of film. Oh, and I've watched a bit of Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, so I've seen a little bit of that too. So yeah, there's solid films overall. Always good for a good slasher flick. Jimbo, how do you think you feel about this whole movie?
Well, I really like the practical effects. When the makeup artists and special effects guys, they don't use computer generated stuff, and they actually do the great Tom Savini and of course Fullerton in this movie. I think it looks better on screen. There is some pretty good stuff for being from 1981 in here. Practical effects of the murders and stuff, the throat slitting, the spear through the bed, stuff like that. Other fun fact about the video game they made, where it was a slasher. It was Jason Voorhees versus the other survivors in the video game. Actually, they actually made sure that every execution had to be practically possible. You didn't use any cheats in the game to just murder people. You know what we should do, Kyle? We should start a Tragedy of Cinema video game thing where we all pitch in and play Friday the 13th, where one of us is a killer. I think 8 people can play.
That would be great. Except that game can no longer be played.
Why not? It
was taken offline. Yeah,
I have it on my PlayStation. I just got it.
You're thinking about Dead by Daylight, possibly?
No, it's Friday the 13th.
That game was taken offline. I promise you.
It better not be.
Yes, it was. Sorry, Jimbo. Sorry to tell you this. Yeah, no, the rights holders for the film rights basically took it down, and it's been a whole kerfuffle and a debate thing.
Well, you're just full of good news today, aren't you?
Exactly, but all the executions in that game could be practically done in real life, though. They made sure of that when they were designing it for the game, which is a really cool detail for that game. Yeah.
So back to my
review. Your review. Yeah.
Now that you've ruined it,
your whole day.
Yeah. Now I'm bummed. So I like the origin story of Jason, and I like watching how he was a killer with the burlap sack. This is before his hockey mask, and he's probably most famous for his hockey mask.
Oh, easily.
He gets in the next movie.
Yeah.
But I like him better than Michael Myers. I just think I like the whole premise of it. Hey, you didn't watch me when I was young. Now you're not going to be able to watch any of the kids because I'm taking you all out, no matter what year it is. So for me, I probably give this an 8. Just I like the soundtrack. I like the I like all the whole.
The sound is amazing.
The whole thing, and I just think Jason is just a brilliant killing machine, if you will. Well, if you like what you heard, we are the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. Hope you're enjoying this Summer of Sequels series, because we are filming this in the spring, because Kyle and I probably take some vacation time in this summer, some time off, because being in a grind for so long, it wears on you a little bit, and sometimes you just need to rejuvenate. So I'm sure by the time you hear this, Kyle's probably sitting on a beach in Tahiti.
Exactly, as I always do. How do I get there? Who knows? But
so if you see any news things of a beached whale washing up a shore Tahiti, you'll say, Kyle,
wow.
No.
Oh, the humanity. Don't bother me, okay?
If you want to follow us on the Facebook, we are the Tragedy Cinema Podcast. Well, with that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut. I'm surprised neither one of us said Leatherface.